Hey, greetings to parents and any kids who may be watching too. Mr. Harry here. Just wanted to touch base with everyone here on video, and I wanted to take these moments to give you a quick overview of our Kidwriting program at Myers Elementary School. And I know that a lot of parents were given, or all the parents really, were given the curriculum information during our orientation days, but in honesty, a lot of that information becomes a little bit overwhelming and a little bit much to handle right at the beginning of the year. So I thought that this would be helpful to be able to tell you what's going on in the classroom with Kidwriting. So that being said, we've just launched kind of into our first couple weeks here of kindergarten writing, and the first type of writing we've been doing is something called shared writing, and you may remember us talking about that at the beginning of the year. When we do shared writing, the product of that is in another video that you might have already seen on our YouTube channel, and that's those It Is A classroom books that we made together, and so that's kind of the final product of shared writing. Basically what we do is I, as the teacher, would be modeling the predictable sentence for the week. And so, for example, we've done I am a blank, we've done it is a blank, and the students would be the ones that fill in the sentence. They actually would come up with me one at a time to the chart paper, and they would tell me which words we're writing, and I write them down. But it's kind of a shared experience because the other boys and girls are seeing them write their sentences. And so anyways, after creating these sentences, we have the students touch read their sentence, and everyone gets to repeat it after them, and we end up culminating in a sentence activity, usually on a Friday. We've kind of done that stuff during the week. And on our Friday activity, the students will get their personal sentence. They get it on their own strip. It's got lines in it so they know where the words are and where the words begin and where the words end, and they'll have to put them in order. They have to read the sentence to the teacher, and once I've kind of given them the okay, after they've cut them, they're going to paste them and put them onto our pieces of white paper, and you've obviously seen these in that class book. They draw their picture of what their sentence was, and that's when it gets made into the class book. So hopefully you've gotten a chance to see some of that. Our really big writing news is that we have started our Kidwriting program. In case your kids come home and have talked about Kidwriting and you're wondering what's going on, I wanted to make you aware if they've told you about maybe their stories. Yes, they have become real-life authors and illustrators, and we want to encourage that. Every student has their own book of stories that only belongs to them. You know, we want them to take ownership over that. Typically, the students will draw a picture on the left-hand side where I've dated their story. We like to keep those dated so we can see their progress throughout the year. And then after they're finished with their picture, they would let me know, and I would have them write their story on the right-hand side. And it's kind of a guided writing process, a guided writing experience. I guide them through sounding out the words, but it truly is the kids who are writing and doing the writing. This is one way that we like to cross paths with some of our other curriculum that we have. For instance, Fast Track Phonics gets involved because if a student isn't sure of a word sound or they need to be reminded, what they would do is they would take a look up onto our wall of our letter sounds, and Alfie the alligator would have talked about some of those letter sounds, so they get to take a look at those and figure out what those letters are going to be that they need to use in their story. Perhaps if they don't know what a word is, or I should say if they do know what a word is, they could check out that sight word that they've learned that's also on our wall. And our room is just totally filled with text. Our room is totally filled with words from top to bottom, and they're always able to go over and to copy those words. So when their story is finished, I always encourage the student that they did a great job. I have them read it back to me and touch read all the words in their sentence to show me that they know where the words were. And I also would show them then how an adult would write that story. I encourage what they did, but show how I would do it as an adult or as the teacher. And I would particularly do that by underlining only the words that are either illegible or are spelled incorrectly, and so we would call that adult writing. It's just really a great process. The kids really love it. They love taking ownership over their work, their own work, and hopefully you guys as parents can really be their biggest encouragers at home. Really just ask them about what they've been writing. Try to, just ask them questions about how it's going. And so hopefully this has been helpful. Now you kind of know a little bit about Kidwriting, and that'll be a process going on all year long. So signing off. See you next time.